Well, hi, Pete. It's so good to see you. I'm Lauren Keene with the Davis Phinney Foundation, and I am joined today here with Pete Huley. Pete, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Lauren. Good morning. And my name's Pete Huley. I live in Beaufort, North Carolina, kind of at the eastern end of the state. Been down here for a few years. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's about 11 years ago now. And the first few years were not much to deal with, and they've got progressively more to deal with. So I was very encouraged when I ran into the Davis Phinney Foundation. I try to exercise as much as I can and learn about the disease and keep pushing myself.
And what keeps bringing you back to the Wahooligan Tour year after year?
Well, it's interesting. This year when I do the tour, it'll be my sixth tour. And when I first got involved with the tour, it was kind of just happened by chance. I saw a note from the Davis Phinney Foundation about the Tour of Sufferlandria. I'd never heard of it. And so I looked into that, and it really piqued my interest. So it was an eye opener and really a door opener for me. I had previously had a bike trainer. I'd done some riding outside, of course, and I just kind of muddled around with the trainer idea, and that was kind of a do-it-yourself approach. Then, as I looked at the tour, I saw that it was really well organized, that it was going to be a big challenge. There was more to it than what I'd been doing, and it also introduced me to a whole new international community that was focused on intense exercise on the bike trainer, but also on raising money for the Davis Phinney Foundation for helping out people with Parkinson's. And that was just amazing to me that you had this bike group that was all over the world that was involved with doing that.
For folks that are new to the Wahooligan Tour and maybe even to fundraising, they're new, but do you have any advice for newcomers, new participants, whether they're fundraising or not? What kind of advice do you have for somebody new to this event?
If you're new to the tour, and if working with some of the metrics that come up during the tour is new to you, I'd say don't get hung up on all of the numbers that get thrown at you. My first tour, I still don't have a smart trainer, but I've got some of the metrics that are wired into the program now. But you don't have to have all the gizmos and everything to really enjoy the tour. You work at your own perceived exertion level and just enjoy the ride and enjoy the group. As far as the fundraising goes, that's something that I've never been that good about doing. I've kind of always shied away from it, but it's something that it's needed, and you just have to go out and ask people to help you out, and let them know what the story is and what's going on, and I think promote, which is very easy to do, what the Davis Phinney Foundation is all about and why it's important to support that group.
Yeah, it's not just a fundraiser. It's the event is also really important for raising awareness about Parkinson's. So,
yeah.
And I just want to mention, Pete, you mentioned that you shy away from fundraising. And ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the Wahooligan Tour's yellow jersey, the leader jersey wearer right here, one of our top fundraisers for the past several years. So, Pete, you're a phenomenal fundraiser, actually.
Well, and that's because I've had a good group that I've been working with, and very generous folks that have come and helped out, and it's important. Yeah, get more people involved, and you find that Parkinson's kind of comes out of the woodwork. People that didn't know it was there find out that it's around.
I'm here with Jill Brown, who is one of my team captains at the Wahooligan Tour. One of my team captains of one of the biggest teams through the years at this event. Jill, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Would you just introduce yourself and maybe tell us where you're tuning in from here and why you ride the tour?
I'm Jill Brown. I am in Texas in the DFW area, and I've been riding the tour, I think, since the first or second year it started, when you had to download the videos, and I rode it through Trainer Road. I've rode it through the app. I've seen Sufferlandria kind of grow from a tiny phase to a huge thing that it's become.
And now you're a part of the Wahooligan Tour, and
yes.
You used to be the captain of the Women of Sufferlandria team, and this year it's morphed into the Citizens of Sufferlandria. Share an anecdote or a favorite memory of being a part of being the team captain and part of the Wahooligan Tour.
So I'm kind of the founder of it was a Facebook group called the Women of Sufferlandria, and we started because everyone was on the Facebook Sufferfest page, and the guys would get just like boys this time of year. And so we decided to create a group where women could feel comfortable asking questions that we would understand the answers to, but you didn't necessarily want to publish in a group where you couldn't show weakness. So we started the Women of Sufferlandria. It started with like probably 10 of us, and it's so huge now. We support each other through thick and thin. We've had women that have gone to Kona that we follow, and we cheer them on from wherever we're at. We've had several meet up in London and England, and just kind of, it's turned into one of probably the women I consider my best friends, that some of them I've met and I haven't met. So that's kind of how the Women of Sufferlandria was born, and we're more competitive than the men. So the last 2 years we've been battling it out, and we decided to call a truce this year and join forces.
Yep, and your team is growing.
Yes.
And tell me why you support the Davis Phinney Foundation.
So, I mean, I like cycling, and that's great. And when they introduced the Davis Phinney Foundation, I watched some of the videos that he made on it. I think the thing I like about it was that it was helping people now. Like, research is great, and I love research, and there's definitely need for money there. But research doesn't necessarily help the person where they're sitting at in the moment. So I think that's my favorite thing about it, is it looks at people and says, we hope there's a cure, we want a cure, but if we can help your life be better, a little bit better today, we want to do that. And so I think that's my favorite thing about it, is it takes people that were active, and I know how hard it is to be active and not have that time to give that back to them.
I am joined here today with Alison Ballard. Alison, will you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Alison Ballard, and I live in Somerville, Massachusetts, which is just outside Boston. And I was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2015, so I've had it for 9 years now. Prior to that, I was actually a triathlete, so I used to do Ironman racing. So it was a big change for me, with moving to not being able to race. So really, the Wahooligan Tour is a way of me keeping up with my cycling, and it's very important for me.
So how did you first get involved with the tour?
So I got involved with the tour actually because one of my friends on my tri team she was doing it one year, and she asked me to join her and raise money. I was raising money for Davis Phinney anyway, so I joined the Wahooligan Tour, whereas it was Sufferfest at that point. Yep. So that was how I joined. Yep. And
how does the tour affect your Parkinson's?
So the tour is great because it gives me a focus. When I was racing, I obviously had focuses every year. When I got Parkinson's and I could no longer race, I didn't have that focus, that goal to aim for. So I find the tour gives me something that I can aim for. So certainly in the springtime, it's always have something to go for. And so the late February, early March timeframe is perfect for me. It just gets me going again for the year.
Yeah, I appreciate that it's early season to keep the legs moving before the outdoor season begins.
And having so many different types of rides in such a short space of time really taxes the body, but it's really good for me.
What do you love about, so as a participant in the tour, you are also a fundraiser for the Davis Phinney Foundation.
Yeah.
Why do you fundraise?
I fundraise because Davis Phinney organization is really important to me. I find that they provide very practical advice for living with Parkinson's, which is very helpful. And I want to support the organization as much as I can.
Well, thank you for the support. It means the world. What advice would you have for somebody that's just hasn't participated in the tour and perhaps is thinking of joining?
If you haven't participated, do so. I mean, you can always dial back your power. So if you don't want to do all the if you want to do all the workouts, but you want to get through the whole thing without dying, then turn back your power. That's what I do. But it's really good to help you focus and really get you in tune for the year to come when you're outside riding at that point. I'm talking to people in the Northeast here, so obviously you people in the southern parts of the country don't have this problem, but us in the Northeast, we have to prepare for our summer inside. So it's good for that.
And the Wahooligan Tour surely is good for that. Well, Alison, thank you so much for chatting with me and taking the time to talk about the Wahooligan Tour.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. I am joined today here with Kevin Kwok. Kevin, thank you for being here and
Great
talking
to
to
be
me.
here, Lauren.
Would you introduce yourself?
Surely. So everyone, my name is Kevin Kwok. I've been a person living with Parkinson's for almost 15 years now. And I'm also fortunate enough to be a member of the Davis Phinney Foundation as a board member and frequent contributor.
Thank you so much, Kevin. So we're here to talk about the Wahooligan Tour. Tell me, why do you ride the tour?
Well, the tour is one of my favorite events. It's one of those rare chances where you get to ride with some of the heroes and icons of biking that we know, like Davis. Sometimes we have guest appearances from his friends and family members, and to be part of that, pushing yourself, is just one of those rare chances to get to cycle with someone like this, learning the stories of what it was like riding as they relate stories of the Tour de France and all of their accolades as professional riders. It's something that it's hard to describe unless you're actually part of it.
So how does it affect your Parkinson's riding in the tour, Kevin?
Well, I've ridden 3 previous years. The first year, I probably underestimated how hard it was. So I didn't really train all that much. Maybe 2 weeks before, just started getting on the bike. I've learned my lessons since then. And part of the beauty of the tour is that it's not just the event itself, the 7 days where you're riding it each day, but part of it is the lead up, the preparation. I almost sort of put on the hat of pretending to be a professional cyclist or professional endurance athlete, where you have to factor in sleep, diet, hydration, recovery, all those things in your training program leading up to it. And so that month or 2 leading up to it has actually been wonderful. It sort of sets my wellness for the rest of the year.
You're also an incredible fundraiser, and you've been one of the top fundraisers at the tour for these past 3 years. Tell me, why do you support the Davis Phinney Foundation?
Well, gosh, that's an easy one. You know, the foundation really focuses on something so important to me, and that's living well for today. Professionally for 25 plus years, I've been someone who's been involved in the pharmaceutical biotech industry. And I know how long it takes to develop medications that are breakthroughs. It can take decades. And while that effort is so important for what we do, those of us who are living with Parkinson's today need something that will help us at the moment. And so the foundation really focuses on that key element of living a high quality life today. And they do it by example. You know, Davis, other members of the foundation, people like yourself, Lauren, are all just committed to this. So for me, you guys are the tribe that help us survive.
Well, thanks so much for sharing with us, and we will see you on the bike.
Great. Get out there and ride.